Okay, and now we want to differentiate this implicit function with respect to x. Good. So we're going to start by putting ddx of both sides, okay? That is differentiating both sides with respect to x. Keeping in mind that y here is a function of x, okay? So we're going to be using the chain rule. So we have the derivative with respect to x of the left-hand side, which is just x squared, right? Then the cosine of y minus 3y, okay? So we equate that with the derivative with respect to x of 5x, all right? Good. Okay, so on the left-hand side, we can split the derivative with respect to x to everything in there, right? Because we're having a difference of two functions. So let me just put it down here. The derivative with respect to x of the first part, which is x squared cosine y, right? And then we subtract the derivative with respect to x of 3y from that. So on the right hand side, we're going to have, anyway, this is the derivative with respect to x of 5x. That will just give us 5, all right? So when we differentiate 5x, we just have 5 as the derivative. Good. Okay, so the first term here, we have a product of two functions, which is x squared and then cosine y, all right? So to differentiate that, we're going to apply the product rule, which tells us to differentiate a product, you keep the first term there, which is just x squared, all right? So we're going to keep x squared and take the derivative with respect to x of the other term, all right? So the other term here is just cosine of y. And then we multiply that with, okay, we're going to add this with, so you notice this is just the first term here. Okay, so we kept the first one, we multiply it with the derivative of the second one, we add it with, we're going to keep this second function here, which is just cosine of y, and then multiply it with the derivative with respect to x of the first one, which is just x squared. Good. Okay, that is just for the first part of the left-hand side. Then here we have minus, well, the derivative with respect to x of 3y. Well, since 3j is just a constant multiple, we can pull it out. That will become 3 times the derivative with respect to x of y, right? Good. And then we equate that to just 5. Okay, great. So after applying the product rule to the first one, we're going to have to differentiate each of these, okay? So take note that this is just x squared. And now, the derivative of cosine of y with respect to x. Cosine y, okay, when you have to differentiate cosine of something, the result is going to be negative sine of that thing, okay? So we're going to multiply x squared with negative sine y, right? And then we are not done yet. Y here is a function of x, okay? So we're going to put down the derivative with respect to x of y, okay? So when you differentiate a function of a function, since y is a function of x, you differentiate a function of a function, you have to differentiate the outside function, which is the cosine, that will give us minus sine, okay, of that thing. Then we multiply it with the derivative of this function, right? So the derivative of y with respect to x, that is just dy dx. And then we add this with cosine y times, well, the derivative of x squared with respect to x will give us 2x, okay? So that's cosine y times 2x. Good. And then we say minus 3 times, well, the derivative with respect to x of y, right? Good. And then we equate this to 5 on the right-hand side. So maybe let's just continue over here. So we're going to enter with now, I'm going to find dy dx, which means I'll put everything that is not multiplied with this, okay, to the right-hand side. So we're going to keep negative x squared sine y, and then the derivative with respect to x of y. And then we're going to keep this minus 3 dy dx, right? So we equate it with 5 on the right-hand side. And then there is something still left here, which is this one. Okay, it doesn't have the dy dx, so we move it to the right-hand side. That will become minus cosine minus cosine y times 2x, okay? So maybe I can rewrite it as 2x cos y. So you take note, we multiply 2x to this cosine y, okay? We are not multiplying 2x to y, which is the angle. So when you want to multiply a trigonometry function with another thing, always write this thing on the left, okay? And put down the cosine of that thing, keeping in mind that you are not multiplying this function to the angle, rather you are multiplying the function to the whole function, which is cosine y, right? Good. Okay, and now here we can factor out dy dx on the left hand side. That means we're going to have negative x squared sine y minus 3, then multiply it with the derivative with respect to x of y, okay? And this right here is equal to 5 minus 2x, then cos y. Good. Okay, so to find dy dx, we need to divide both sides by this coefficient, all right? So we're going to have the derivative with respect to x of y to be equal to, well, this is just 5 minus 2x cosine y, and then we divide everything there by this term here, which is just negative x, then sine, okay, negative x squared sine y minus 3, okay? Okay, that's it for the function. Maybe this fraction, maybe I can do a little thing there. Factor out the negative in the denominator, okay? Or I say multiply numerator and denominator by a negative number, that is negative 1. We're going to put this down to be derivative with respect to x of y as you multiply the top by a negative number, or negative 1 in particular, you're going to have 2x cosine y, then minus 5, right? Then we divide it by, we multiply the denominator also, we're going to have x squared sine y plus 3. Good. Okay, this right here is the derivative of that function with respect to x. Okay, great. All right, thanks for watching. Please subscribe to my channel.